Hello everyone, and welcome back to another no damage video. This time I'm going to be no damaging the very first game, Yakuza 1. And there's definitely going to be one thing that's going to be different from other no damages that I've ever done. Is that if you ever see either a timer, which I think it's only this fight where it shows up, and Kiryu not wearing a shirt, it means I am using the battle review. And it's essentially the, kind of like the premium fights, or I forget what they're called, premium matches from the more newer Yakuza games, or when they still had them. But instead of having a gimmick where you gotta like do these random goofy ass challenges to unlock the boss fights, you can just fight all the battles. You can even fight some of the sub-story battles, which is pretty cool. And it's also very useful, because some of these fights are very difficult when you have very limited upgrades. So having a mode where I can get to certain boss fights with a maxed out Kiryu, very useful. Combine that with an emulator where I can create save states, extremely useful. And anyway, most of these beginning fights are going to be nothing fights. So to talk about the general combat of this game, a lot of people tend to dog on it, and I get it. It is clunky, it is old, there are some weird kinks to it, but is it bad? No. In fact, I think it's kind of underrated, because one thing I like in games is whenever I feel like I end up using most of my toolkit, because there's like obviously can be some fun games, but once you like realize what's like really broken, you just kind of end up spamming it. And a lot of people tend to destroy the fun in the game while they're playing it. So like for example, like Yakuza 2, like that game is fun and the combat is good, and most people prefer that over this because it's way faster and feels more responsive. But once you get the double overhead finisher, you kind of do that most of the game. Not that other finishers don't have uses, but when you have the finisher that's better than everything else, why wouldn't you use it? But in this game, you use basically everything. You use all your combos, you use all your throws. There are some exclusive throws that are really useful. Like there's a bunch of heat upgrades, bounding throws are really useful. Even like the charge attack can be pretty useful for some fights. I mean, yeah, there's never, very rarely a point where I feel like I'm just doing the same shit over and over again. Because like depending on the situation, I gotta use a different move. And because of that, the game feels varied compared to some games where you just kind of run into a formula. Oh yeah, not also that, but crowd control in this game is insanely strong. Like one of the things is like grabs have always been good in Yakuza games. And it's no different here. They have iframes. You can like aim them and hit other people, which is always useful. But the thing is, in this game, it's a lot easier to knock enemies down. Like even when you go to like Yakuza 2, like in order to knock them down, you gotta be like really close to them. So, but here, you get like one grab, you throw him like towards like 3 guys, they all go down. Every single one of them. Even like boss fights, so there's a couple bosses where they have like a group surrounding them. If you grab one goon and throw it into the boss, that boss just falls down. Easy. Yeah, anyway, so here's Yuya. He's a pre-whatever fight. He has a funny gimmick where he will run at full screen and do basically just do a full body slam, which is pretty funny. But Yuya, yeah, there it is right there. But Yuya is in a very serious fight. I mean, you can just kind of bully him. There's not much strategy to it. But yeah. And like not only that, it's also way easier to just disarm enemies, because the moment they fall their ass on the ground, they drop their weapon, which is very nice. So like if you walk in a room and like you got like 6 guys, running around with knives, you can take like at least like 3 of the knives and they just drop to the floor. Now there are also like some really weird quirks about this game. Some of them are really nice. Like for example, like heat gain in this game is really good. Like, if you're able to remain aggressive, you remain in heat. And that's just very nice thing to have. You know, this game, you get passive upgrades, you got stuff like stability, you can block, it's harder to knock you down. You get damage upgrades. There's like a bunch of heat techniques, like a bunch of your grabs. There's like enhanced versions, which can be useful. There's bounding throws and heat actions. One very nice thing is that when you end a fight with a heat action, your heat doesn't go away, which I wish was in more Yakuza games. I think the only time it's ever happened in another Yakuza game is like, I think there's like one heat action in 0 that does that if you end the fight, which is pretty nice. And I've had like, I'm pretty sure it's a bug, where if you do like heat actions from like the red heat gimmicks, sometimes you'll keep your heat. But I'm pretty sure that's a bug and not intentional. But in this game, like, heat gain is really good. Like, you compare it from like Yakuza 1 to Yakuza 2, like, heat gain takes forever. It takes a lot longer to build in that game compared to this. So you can keep being aggressive, and as long as you play while you're remaining heat. And it's a fun formula. I've played, pretty much every Yakuza game I could get my hands on, but there's not many games that feel as cohesive as Yakuza 1. Now, I think one big problem with Yakuza 1 is that the camera can suck major fucking ass. Oh my god. There are a couple fights in this game where half the time my biggest enemy was not the moveset or the stage. Well, it was parts of the stage. It was just the camera because I can't fucking see. And that shit is just so annoying. It's so infuriating to deal with because the thing is, in this game, like every Yakuza game, they have the camera reset button, which is pretty useful. Although I think for most Yakuza games, like up till I played 1 and it became muscle memory for other games, I just mainly use like the right analog stick, like if you play on a normal controller, to move the camera around to see where the enemies are. You can't do that in this game. The only way to look around is to use the camera reset button. Meaning, if there's a bunch of people behind you, you have to turn Kiryu around, press the reset button, and then you can see them. And oh my god, it takes a while to get used to, and in most cases it's not a huge deal. But with some fights, like I was fighting the camera more than I was fighting the actual fight, and there's no worse feeling than that. And like just struggling against something you're desperately trying to control. Oh my god. Anyway, here's the Shimano Fight. He's a fucking joke in this game. Like as soon as you unlock the 5-hit combo, it's over. I mean, you can just spam him. I mean, not like the Kiwami Fight is any better because he just copies Mr. Shakedown, which all that really does is just make it drag out because you can't combo him. But well, also I think there's also like a bunch of weird quirks about this game, just in general. It's like I remember like going to Serena for the first time and I realized it's like, oh, it's like way different because like you have to like go down a hallway, then either climb up some stairs or take an elevator, and then you can go outside, which makes a lot more sense as to why no one is ever in the fucking bar. It's like, oh, it's like a hole in the wall. It's like Kiryu's little private thing. That makes sense. And like, Kiwami 1, it's just basically like an elevator teleport kind of thing, which is more convenient and obviously better because you don't have to walk around every fucking time just to get into Serena. And the thing is, in this game, you definitely go to Serena a lot more because I think one other thing I don't like about this game is that the inventory system sucks ass because it is extremely fucking small. You only have like 9 slots and 3 weapon slots, and it's not hard for your inventory to get full, and the only place to dump your shit out aside from just throwing it away completely is to enter Serena. And there's not that many taxis in these early Yakuza games, and Yakuza 1 is no exception. So it is one annoying thing. I remember I think on my first playthrough, I ended up missing like a big like sub story, and those big sub stories are very good for like getting XP. And it felt like such a huge pain that because I just felt like I was stuck because like Serena's closed and I couldn't. And if I went into the hideout at Purgatory, it would progress me to the next chapter, and you can only do sub stories in that chapter, which I'm glad Kiwami 1 doesn't have that anymore. That's a good thing. Because I think the only way to actually like change out my inventory is to go all the way to the arena and use the item box there. And I didn't realize until like after I was done with the chapter. I'm just like, oh shit. Oh, but the thing is, like, that shit is so fucking far, and when you do use the item box, it takes fucking forever to load. I don't know why it takes so long. It just takes fucking forever. Oh yeah, I haven't really been talking about the fights. Yeah, here's Hayashi. He's one of the very just group fights. And I think one thing Hayashi does have is that I think he's like the first boss you fight who has like the invincible fucking spin move, which makes crowds really annoying. But luckily, Hayashi's pretty easy because in this game you can like, it's pretty easy to loop enemies with grabs because you can grab them as they're getting up. So, especially on weaker enemies, you can just kind of do this over and over again, which is very nice because once you get rid of everyone else, you know, it's just free money. Oh yeah, here's the arena fight. Now I found some of these fights really annoying. Mainly because there's a lot of times where they would just clip me with grabs, and if you don't immediately mash out of the grab, it started QTE and you just get hit because there's no like quick time of it to actually escape the QTE. It's just basically a heat action for them. So in this fight, I hit him with a full combo, then I grab him. He'll break the grab, which creates space, and because of that space, he won't attempt to grab me because enemies in this game cannot whiff a grab. It is impossible for them to whiff a grab. Once they attempt to grab, it will always hit. You know, it's not like other games. It's like, oh, they go for a grab, it whiffs. It's like, okay, you can hit them back. You can't do that in this game. They just never whiff. They only come out when you're point blank. And it's very annoying. Like, I think whenever, like for example, like you knock an enemy down, say like after you do a heat action and you try to back away and you're not immediately mashing like the dodge button to, you know, get away, is that they can just wake up command grab you, and if you're not ready for it, you'll just get hit, which is really annoying for a no damage. Also this fight, this is the Muay Thai moveset. Now Muay Thai moveset isn't that hard to deal with. You just wait for him to do a combo where he does like the 4-hit string or the big flying knee. You just grab him. Now, unlike in Yakuza 2, this guy isn't nearly as scary, or these kind of guys aren't as scary. Number one, they don't have the fucking unseeable low kick, which, fuck Yakuza 2 for adding that. And plus, like, general, like, this game is fairly slow. It's like, oh yeah, like that, like I knock him down. Like if I wasn't mashing like my dodge button to get away, I definitely got hit. But overall, like bosses are pretty easy to deal with. Plus, the fact that you can actually grab enemy bosses in this game is really nice, because like future games have basically taught me it's like, oh, don't grab the enemy. It's don't grab a boss. It's basically useless because they're just gonna break out of it. In this game, you can grab most of the bosses, which is really nice. Anyway, here's Gary Buster Holmes, and well, normally he can be a pretty tough fight. If you just spam your light combo, there's not much you can do. Oh yeah, also recently they had a new like Yakuza live action based on the first game, and like when they talked to the florist, unfortunately the arena fights didn't make it through, which I kind of understand because it's only 3 episodes, so the amount of time they have is pretty limited, and the arena doesn't have that much impact on the story. But it's a shame we didn't get to see Gary Holmes in live action. I wanted to see what random black guy they found to play Gary. Unfortunate. Oh yeah, another thing about that that live action, I think it's like what, Nihon Tetsu or some shit? I forget what the company is called. But it's very clear that they're emulating Kiwami instead of the original game, mainly because they include like the Majima Everywhere dialogue, which just feels kind of weird. I mean, okay, I guess. But not only that, during the fighting cutscenes, you see Kiryu, like, I guess he's supposed to be switching stances. You know, like in Kiwami 1, they have like this big, like, colored flash effect. Which, I mean, sometimes it works, and sometimes it's just confusing. Like, cause like, you know, Kiryu will like switch, you know, he'll be like in Rush or whatever, and then he'll switch to Brawler, and then he'll do some, either like kickboxing shit that's like, why didn't you just stay in Rush? Like, it's not the worst idea, but I think it's definitely on like the editor's fault for not doing the right colors. Anyway, here's the Majima fight. Majima can be a huge pain in the ass. He is very hard to fight. And I think the only strategies I know of, I think before this, is you either, I think you do what speedrunners do, you can get them in like one of those baseball pits and like just spam them and try to trap them. Or you could do what I'm doing, where you learn the timing on 2 of his moves, mainly his full combo, and like one like lunging knife attack he has, and do the Komaki parry. Now you can tiger drop them, but it's also possible for Majima to dodge the tiger drop, which is definitely what you don't want. Now you can do it on the full combo, you just have to like walk into him as he's doing it, but like, so most of the time I use the Komaki parry, which I think is just generally a lot more fun to use compared to the tiger drop. I mean, tiger drop's iconic, but it does get boring. I only want to use stuff like that when I really have to, which I don't really do in this one. I think I only do it for the second Majima fight and the Nishiki in like the final fight, mainly because you ain't got much else. Anyway, here's B King, and B King has a really fucking annoying moveset in this fucking game, because he has like, he's one of those enemies that like really dodging. He has that low sweep right there. That low sweep is so annoying because it'll basically dodge all your attacks. You can't block it because it's low and it'll knock you down. And it's so annoying. At the very least, once you get rid of like B King's friends, you can just grab loop him, which thank God. But unfortunately, the grab loops do not work on everyone. And I think it's gonna pop up in the fight after this. Also, the music, I think older, just like generally both Yakuza games, the older PS2 games, they definitely have a certain vibe that I feel neither of the Kiwamis really recreate, which I don't really think is the dev's fault. I mean, when it comes to making music, you gotta be a certain mindset to make something, and it's hard to recreate that feeling. But like Yakuza 1 has such a distinct sound for all of its music. And Kiwami 1 just makes it sound like generic techno most of the time, which I'm not a big fan of. Anyway, here's the Atobe Family. And it's also where we see one really annoying moveset. Because I think like here you'll see like what I mean by being able to disarm enemies. Like all these guys have knives. But like look at that. They all drop them, grab that guy. None of them have knives in them. Problem is, the main guy in the back, who's like the clan captain or whatever, he won't drop his knife. And unfortunately, he also has a really fucking annoying moveset. Because I think the worst kind of enemy to fight in this game is like the enemy who is a type of enemy who can like dodge in between your combos, because unfortunately Kiryu just isn't fast enough to like realign himself to hit him. And it's just so frustrating. And this guy is like, oh yeah, look at that funny heat action. that is like the one thing that made this fight not a total pain in the ass. Just seeing that is just hilarious. But anyway, the main way I deal with this guy is I just go into a fucking jousting match and just grab a knife, because luckily the heavy knife attack has a lot of range. But unfortunately, he likes to dodge it like right there. So most of the time I kind of have to wait while he's in the middle of an attack, because I can't grab him. But at least I have space and a bunch of knives on the floor. So that there was, you know, a way to deal with it. It kind of drags it out a bit, but it works. And that's what matters at the end for a no damage video. But anyway, I think talking about the dodging enemies, because they're really annoying. I think if there's one thing in my mind that would make the combat perfect, aside from better camera, like let me move it around normally, you know, when you're just playing the game. But also, Yakuza 2, when it comes to reversals, like not only they're built in, but they also give you light reversals, because unfortunately, like, reversals are really good in this game. They have a lot of range, they knock down, they have a wide area of effect. They're really good. But unfortunately, you only have reversal heavies, and you only get them like midway through the game. So like early game, you fight a dodging enemy, those are really annoying. Especially boxer enemies, like the boxer moveset. Those are a huge pain because they're defensive. They can do a lot of damage. They block everything. They can dodge everything. Oh, it's a huge pain in the ass. But at least there's ways around those enemies. Oh yeah. Anyway, here's the color gangs when we start fighting. When you have to find Haruka. No, wait, this is not the color gang. This is the guy who wants to make a porno. But we're not gonna allow that because Dodge is such a good guy, but he's not a good father. I think when it comes to heat game, whenever you're really drunk, you know, being drunk in Yakuza games always makes you go to heat a lot faster. But the thing is, in this game, since heat gain is like so strong, it feels so excessive. Like just doing one combo and all of your heat is built. Like it takes no time at all. But being drunk can be useful for if you want to like grind level ups, because like whenever you do a heat action like a strong enemy, it'll give you like a bunch of XP, and you get XP for every heat action you do. So the more heat actions you do, the more XP you can get for level up. And that's so if you're gonna, you know, if you ever think about playing this game, I would recommend doing a lot of the missable side stories that have cutscenes, because one, they also give you a lot of XP, but also get drunk and spam a bunch of heat action so you can get a fuckload of levels and you can get a bunch of useful skills. Now here's the Shota, and this guy is really fucking annoying because he has the same moveset as the Atobe guy, but you're in a tiny fucking room and there's one big guy. And I was trying to do it in a normal game, but eventually I just got fucking tired of it because this fucker dodges everything, and like I can't even attempt to grab him, because if I do grab him, like there's like a 40% chance or some shit where he'll do like the double quick stab, and you just can't dodge that if he does that. And it was just so annoying. So here I'm actually going to use the charge move. Now we don't have the Lotus Fist in this game. That wouldn't come to the second game, which I didn't unlock in that game. A lot of upgrades are kind of tied to like random side quests. I didn't find it, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah, there's this fight. So I think while recording this audio, I realized I had to redo it because the attempt I actually did the first time, I did get hit and somehow didn't get noticed. But the biggest problem was I could not get the bulletproof vest side quest to spawn for whatever fucking reason. So my strategy had to change. So instead, I just have max heat gain, and I just have to kill the gun guys as fast as possible. Only problem is that it's not easy, because it's one thing to have 2 gun guys. It's another thing to have like 5 boxers chasing you. But luckily, I was actually able to manage. Like right here, all the gun guys are dead. So now, the strat is simple because the main way, at least I deal with boxes in this game, is that like you just kind of wait for them to like swing, and then boom, you charge kick just like that. And I guess like one nice thing is that this attempt was actually way faster than my other one. So it's a nice change. I guess you could call it optimization. And you don't need the bulletproof vest, but there's definitely gonna be a few upcoming fights where that bulletproof vest is required. So yeah, it's very annoying how much the fucking boxers block. Oh yeah, here's the gambling den. Where Haruka gets is wrong. It's because they fucking cheated. This fight is not that bad. It's pretty small, so sometimes the camera can fuck you up. And also, here is the giant swing. Oh, I fucking love that grab. It is so good. You have like a shitload of iframes. It lasts for a super long time. Like, not only does it hit all around you, but like you throw a guy, you throw them right after the animation is done, so you can hit another guy after most of the animation is done. And the worst part is that this move never came back until like Yakuza 6, and grabs don't have iframes in that game. So it's just, why did they remove this one, man? This shit is so good. But oh well. I don't know. I just kind of like the grabs in this game. Like, I really like the non-heat version of the light grab combo. I like when you do the headbutt. I think I'm gonna do it right here. Yep. And I'm surprised that, like, you know, like in other games they never make a grab that has a headbutt in it. Like even like Kiryu's like brawler style, which is the point of that move style, like in Nishikiyama, is that it's an unrefined version of Kiryu. You know, it's like the basic idea of his normal fighting style, but somehow they never put the headbutt. I mean, he'll headbutt you if you do like the retaliation attacks, but those aren't really that good, to be honest. Oh, here's this fight. I think you're gonna see a small little edit I did after this fight is over, because the cutscene that plays after this just has the funniest fucking and most like violent shit ever. It's so fucking funny, man. Like, I could not include it somehow. I basically shoddily edited it to make it look like a dynamic intro. It's not very good. It's very simple, but you know, I felt like including it. That was a lucky break. And right there, I thought I got hit. I think I had the placebo effect from the chair sound effect. Oh, here it is. That shit is so funny, man. Anyway, here's Shindo. He's not too crazy in this fight compared to Yakuza 2. But at least one nice thing is that you can just grab Shindo freely. So, the best way to approach this fight is to essentially use Shindo as basically a tool. It's like, oh, here's my grab tool. Just throw him against other people. Because he does, I'm pretty sure like most of the sword enemies have like actual training. I'm pretty sure they just reuse the player moveset. And those swings have a lot of range. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Not only that, I think one weird thing about this fight is, you notice on the mini-map, there's like 3 guys hiding behind the corner. But I think they do come out of this attempt. So like, if you ever like actually approach that corner, they'll just eventually come out. It's kind of weird. I guess it's supposed to be like hidden backup in a way. I think that's what they were trying to do, but But by the end, once everyone's dead, you can just grab loop Shindo. This fight's not that bad. I think at one point when I was going through the battle review to make save states, I was just casually no damage, just playing normally. It took me a little longer when I had to do it like officially, but I got around it. Alright, here are the color games. Here are the color games actually start. And I think the funny part is in I've only done this fight through the battle review. Because I don't know if it's just me, but I in my first playthrough I could not find them at all. I knew where the white gang was and obviously where the red gang was, but the blue gang I just couldn't find them. So I'm just doing it through the battle review. I guess one weird thing is that like the leader or whatever has like a very weird moveset. And it's not the worst thing in the world. It's pretty telegraphed. It's not that bad. But the final strike where he thrusts the taser has like 1,000,000 active frames. So like that shit will just clip you. Like if you grab an enemy and your iframes run out, like it will just hit you. And that was kind of annoying. But overall, this fight is pretty whatever. And you know, both playthroughs of this game, one for my no damage one and one for the normal playthrough. I missed both of them. I tried looking for them in both and I couldn't find them. I know in Kiwami 1 they're in the park next to like where like the pocket racing is. I know that, but this game I don't know what they are. Oh yeah, one other thing I also decided to include was there's like a little mini gang fights. They're pretty nothing fights, but the battle review included them, so I was like, why not? Why not include them? Doesn't hurt. I mean, these are just normal goons. Although this fucking camera, oh my god, this is the camera at its worst. I cannot turn around to fucking see what I'm fighting. PS2 Jane. Anyway, I think one of the like fun detail about this game is that, you know, when you go into the white edge hangout, like Kiwami 1, they just kind of spawn once like the story like needs them or whatever. But in this game, like if you go to that area, like guess what? You see the gang hanging out. Wow. Oh yeah, and here we have this big group fight, and I think one of the biggest problems is that the leader, he has the Muay Thai moveset, which by itself isn't too bad, but when he has those big leaping like knee attacks in a group, it can get dangerous. But as long as if you can somehow keep distance from him, you should be fine, really. Also, I got really lucky there that my attack clipped him during like the weird jump kick enemies can do. I probably would have got clipped there. I think one other thing you have to be careful about is there's a bunch of shit on the floor, and you do not want to pick that shit up. Because if there's any time, like I want to grab the enemy, not a random shit on the floor, because obviously you're a lot more limited when you pick up like a pipe or some shit. And because there's shit all over the fucking floor, I don't want to do any of that shit. So like if I accidentally pick up like an item and I'm close, like that's just sends me full panic mode basically. It's like, oh, I don't want this shit. Fuck out of here. Yeah, this fight isn't too bad. It can be annoying, but you know, as soon as the main guy gets by himself, you just treat him like every other Muay Thai enemy in this game. Fucking stupid. I guess to talk more about the original game. I guess I could talk about the dub. No, I think the dub is definitely a product of its time. Like, sometimes you just hear, like, audio cutting out because I think it's peaking too much. And, like, there's some very weird localization decisions. Like, when the Shimano gang tries to invade the Stardust Club, they just treat Stardust as a normal bar, which I think is quietly implying a deep group of big bad Yakuza men want to drink with pretty boys. But I don't think the West knew what host or hostess bar was, a club or whatever. So, oh well. All of them are translated as bars in this game, which, I mean, I guess you can drink in them. So that's not bad. I mean, there are some characters that I really like their performance. Like, I really like Nishiki. Nishiki is actually pretty good. Jingu is really good. He definitely feels like a slammy fucker. You definitely want to punch the shit out of him. I like the Florist performance. I think, you know, his normal, like, Japanese performance, I guess, would make more sense. Because obviously, he's on the down low. He's not nearly as loud compared to this version. But he is more entertaining. And I think that's what really matters. Because it's not that the Florist is outstanding. Oh, yeah. The end screenshot, just fucking him hanging on the lighting. That he actually is just so funny. And I think, you know, like, Daryl, I think Carrillo is his name, for Kiryu is a really good fit. And I wish he came back for the other games when, you know, English dub started becoming the norm, instead of fuck-ass young Ye, who's just too young. And, like, I mean, I guess he didn't want to do, like, voice acting as, like an official job again. I mean, I get it. Like, Yakuza games, they're obviously gonna require, like, a lot of voice work, you know, whether it comes to, like, generic sound effects for minigames, combat, dialogue, and cutscenes, like, and especially in, like, Yakuza 8, because you have, like, the little, like, you know, like, the little dialogue shits, where, like, you know, your party, like, talks to each other. That's just more shit to record, which is gonna be a lot of work. And plus, like, you know, by this point, you would probably, you know, he did appear in Yakuza 7, which was a very cool reference, which was cool. You know, as much, I kind of want them to retire Kiryu, it was cool that they did bring back the original English voice actor. That is a good thing. But after that, it's, I mean, I'm pretty sure Gaiden has a dub now, even though it got delayed for whatever reason. And then they released Zero, the director's cut, which also came with an English dub. And then obviously Yakuza 8. And it's just, man, bring back Daryl, man. Daryl just fits so much better, and plus, you know, with, like, actual good recording standards, and not just fucking, it's like, yeah, just make them do whatever and just hope it turns out good. It would have been so good, but, you know, you can't. Unfortunately, the world is not perfect. Anyway, this fight is kind of a drag. I mean, you just get one big heavy guy and a Muay Thai guy. Most of the time, I just wait for the Muay Thai guy to do, like, the flying kick, grab him, knock him down, then bully his little brother. The little brother by himself is not a threat. It's like Shimano, you just fucking bully him. And I know, I'm not sure what moveset he uses in Kiwami 1 for the little brother, but I know the older one is definitely using Majima's Breaker, which is just a very annoying moveset to deal with. Not impossible, but not fun. Alright, here's Lau Ka Long. I got really fucking frustrated in this fight. And the worst part is that it's the first phase. It's the fucking spear phase. Because there's just, like, no consistent way just to deal with it. It's like, one, like, the spear phase, his spear has it's a fuck ton of reach because it's a spear. It's sharp, so you can't block it unless you have heat. And obviously I have to wait for him to attack, so my heat will naturally go down. He's dodgy as fuck, so you can't really combo him or, like, guard break him most of the time. And the thing is, he has a like kind of like one thing you actually can do in this game, unlike I wish you could do in Yakuza 3, is that when you hit his block, he does like a block reversal. And the problem is, I can't find a consistent way to get him blocked. If I could do that, it would make the fight a lot more fun, you know? Like I would tap him very lightly, make him block like 2 light attacks or whatever. Make him do that, parry, do a little combo, and this fight would actually be fun. But no, he can't have that. But luckily, once the first phase is gone, it's not nearly as bad. The hand-to-hand phase is pretty easy. I mean, you can just kind of bully him because he doesn't have a reversal. And then you have this dual sword phase. This phase, I mean, he has like that running attack, which is really easy to avoid. He has like a 3-hit and a 4-hit combo. 4-hit combo takes like fucking forever. Oh yeah, and also one other thing is that, you know, when I'm hitting Lau Ka Long, he can just hit me mid-combo. Like, what the fuck? Why? Shit is, this fight is just so annoying. I'm so glad I got it over with. Alright, here is Arase. Now, Arase is actually, you know, for all the gun bosses, pretty fair, and I didn't even need the bulletproof armor. I think the main way you do that is essentially, well, first you gotta take out the one other gun guy. Take him out first. You only want to worry about one gun. And you essentially just kind of camp around, I think, like these like air vents or whatever the fuck these are. I don't exactly know. And you essentially kind of have to hide from them. That way you don't get shot. Because unfortunately, bullets in this game are like basically hit scan. You can't really dodge them unless you're like completely behind them. But once everyone is down, like, I mean, yeah, sure, Arase will try to run away, but it's not that bad because he's basically a prototype Andre. And Andre is a great gunfight. And like, you know, he does, you know, he has the, you know, he has the, like that move, the single spin, there's a gunshot, he has like the multiple where he, you know, he unleashes like a full volley, you can get behind him, he screams when he does it. He's very well telegraphed, like, pretty fair fight, honestly. Like, even, you know, that dodge is pretty slow, so as long as you don't commit too hard, you should be able to dodge it. This is a good fight, you know? Credit to where credit is due, they made a good fight, and you don't even need bulletproof armor. Ooh, look at that reversal. It's saucy. Oh, here's coming up a very difficult fight, but at the very least, I am very proud of this fight. But I think my biggest problem with this fight is the fucking camera. Oh my god. So, I think, well, you might think it's Majima from the baseball batting center or whatever, and this fight should be the same. No, they are not the same. In fact, Majima has new moves. He has that one jumping slash, which he did in the beginning, and he has like the fiery punch at the end of his combo. It's like a normal move now. But anyway, my main strat is essentially just Komaki parry 2 moves, that one or the end of his combo, stun him with the reversal, and then heat action. Stylish combo by Yakuza 1 standards. Because the thing is, Majima is like resistant to like any kind of combo, so you can't do a normal combo, you can't grab him. But if you do the reversal, like one, he'll be like stunned. Plus, not only that, he also has like Kiryu has like a heavy reversal kick. Majima has the same shit, and that could just clip you. Luckily, if you do the reversal attack, he'll be stunned enough where even if he does it, you can get away in time. But overall, honestly, I'm pretty happy with this attempt, for all things considered. Although another thing that is also really annoying is that, you know, first phase you have to deal with the camera, now you gotta deal with this fucking fog, which is really annoying because it fucks with my depth perception. And you know, when my main opportunity to get a damage is off a parry, and I need to gauge distance, it can be very frustrating. Because unfortunately, I think the only other way to deal with Majima is you either force him into a corner, which is doable in the first phase, but in the second phase, there's just too much room, or just kind of grab spam him. I mean, he'll eventually let you grab him, but it's not fun. But you know, that's just how it goes. Majima fights wouldn't get good until Yakuza 3. And like, I would try to jump the jumping slash like you can do in Yakuza 3, but I don't think that works. I don't think you can parry or point attacks. Might be able to tiger drop it. Maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't bother with that. Alright, here is the snake triad who are harassing the what is it? People making fake IDs, whatever the fuck they're called, I don't remember. Anyway, this fight can be very annoying because it's like, normally it's like, oh, let me disarm the enemy. That's normally a good idea. It's not a bad idea. But the problem is, all the enemies are Chinese. Which means they have that fucking shit. And they have really evasive moves. They like jump. And they got all these flying jump kicks that can hit you from very far away. So, you know, you disarm them and you're still not safe. Not only that, they also like immediately tech like on the ground. So like normally you can like crowd control by like throwing people on the ground. They stay on the ground. With these guys, not really. Because they just immediately recovered. So, I mean, you know, you get your damage, but you don't get your crowd control, which is very important. So generally you have to be very careful. At the very least, like, I guess like the leader or whatever, you can use him kind of like Shindo. You can just kind of use him as a tool to control people. Here I'm trying to do the barrel heat action, but unfortunately I didn't get it. But overall, this fight is not bad. It can be kind of annoying because you have to deal with those flying kicks all the time, but as long as you keep your cool. Also, all the goons have like a good amount of health, and that's always a problem. There's at least like generic goons, as long as you do like a full combo, which usually end up dead. Not in this fight, which is always a problem. The fight on the Atobe fight, and it's a problem here. And here you can just grab loop him. Easy money. Easy money. Alright, here next up is the boat fight, the Shimano Family. This fight is pretty not too crazy in this game. Although Kiwami 1, they just dial it up to a fucking 11 because there's so much more shit you gotta worry about in that game. You got some guy with a chainsaw fucking chasing you everywhere. You got like some guy throwing knives, a guy throwing grenades, a guy with a shotgun, like all in the back. And it's a fucking hellscape. Like they did not need to do all that shit for this random ass fight. But in this game, not a big deal. There's only a couple of heavies and a couple normal guys. Some guys with weapons, I guess, but to be honest, that ain't even that crazy. And plus, like, if you grab someone near the like the rim of the boat or whatever, you can just throw them off, completely one-shot them. I guess one more thing about heat actions is that you really, I think, pretty much every game after this, they made it a little bit more lenient to activate. Like, here's another thing I didn't even intend to do. I didn't mean to drop the grenade, but it killed him. That's one minute in the fight. But in order to do heat actions, like especially like the wall heat action, you have to like drag them all the way to the wall. Because if you stop moving and don't drag them all, it just won't activate, which is kind of annoying, but not the worst thing. Future games will make it a lot more lenient. I mean, here's this fight where Shimano is more of a nuisance than an actual threat, because he's basically like a walking turtle. He's big, he's fat, he blocks everything, And he has a bunch of goons behind him, which will clip you even if you are behind them. Although one funny thing is that it's also really easy to get rid of Shimano's sword. Like, even if you just grab him and it doesn't even, like, he breaks out of it, he still drops it, which is really funny. But overall, this fight is kind of annoying. I think one strat I ended up doing is I used the, what is it, like the 3-leg combo into the reversal kick, because this move has a lot of range. And when people are tailing me, I need that range. Which I think I ended up doing in my redone fight with the Mysterious Organization, or the MIB or MBI, whatever fucking translation you go with. Alright, here's this QT. If you fuck this up, Kiryu just gets straight up run over. Fucking brutal. Also, I think speaking about that, the new like Neon Tetsu, the live action, they did recreate this fight, but there's some weird things about it. Number one, Shimano doesn't take his shirt off; he's just in normal clothes. I mean, my best guess is that they didn't make the, they didn't give him the like the Yakuza tattoos or whatever they're specifically called. That's my best guess as to why they didn't take his shirt off. But it does make it a lot more lame. I mean, at least they did give him the sword. They do play the music. But there's also like they put in a second Majima fight, and like it feels kind of forced. It's like, oh, I'm fucked up. It's like, yeah, but I want to fight. Oh shit, I'm fucked up. It's like, yeah, Majima, you fucking idiot. But you know, I think it's just mainly budget. So I think one other thing I'm trying to do is that, because you do get like a bunch of allies, what I'm trying to do is get the main guy to get distracted by the other guys, so I can just focus on Shimano. And I think they kill him right here. Yeah. So now Shimano is just free meat for me to abuse. Once he's by himself, it's just like the first fight. You just spam him, you guard break him. I don't know how the fuck he fell down like that. So he's really just a walking turtle. He just protects everyone. He just protects his flock, and it's super annoying. But this fight ain't that bad. Also, I think one funny thing is in Kiwami 1, it's a lot harder to tell who's on your side because they don't have the big arrows. So you can just be swinging into people who are supposed to be helping you, but that's a minor thing. Anyway, we're closing into the final sections of the fights. And here's the pretty whatever fight. I think these are the people who betrayed Torada or whatever. They're pretty whatever. The real fight is what happens after this one is over. This one's just a bunch of goons. I mean, just a heavy and a guy with a knife. Not that crazy. Because right after this fight, we get to fight Jingu. Jingu is, no matter what game he's in, he's a massive pain. I'll get to that. I think one other shame is that I wish for the 20th anniversary or whatever they just translated the like the HD versions of these old games that they're putting on the PS3 and the Wii U for some fucking reason. I wish they did that instead of just, you know, delisting all the Kiwami games. Making Kiwami 3, which is unfettered dog shit, and you know, just overpricing games. That, you know, like cheap. It's like, oh, we added a couple languages. I'm like, okay, I don't fucking care. I'm just glad I bought all the games like on the big Steam collection before they got delisted. I'm just glad I did that. I don't know if I'm gonna replay Kiwami 2, but I at least did replay Kiwami 1. Anyway, here's Jingu fight. This fight fucking sucks. It's not fun. Because the thing is, I have the bulletproof vest, which does let you block bullets, which you definitely need in this fight. But the problem is, in order to block the bullets, you have to be facing them. If you don't face them, you can't block the bullets. There's a big problem when you have like 4 knife guys who are ready to attack you. So like my main strat is essentially get in this little corner, because there they can't shoot you. But the biggest problem is that it's really tiny and there's fucking stairs, and you can't grab enemies on stairs, which is like the safest way to get people down and do the heat action. You can't do that. And not only that, there's been a couple times where I've been basically stun locked by Jingu and like these 2 random goons shooting at me, and I get clipped. And the guys with knives have a long lunging like slash attack, and that will definitely clip you a couple times, and it just makes this fight so annoying. But I was able to do it. I was even able to do like this. I guess I technically broke it up into 2 parts, because I'm not doing a like all in one run. I'm not a masochist. I have limits. But I guess it's technically a 2-parter. Also, one funny thing is just how much worse Kiwami 1 makes these fights. Mainly because, I think the final fight mainly. But they changed like how getting shot works. Instead of just like getting slightly knocked down, you go to like kills over and it's like, whoa, whoa. Not only that, but like once like this part of the fight is over and you know you gotta climb up the stairs after you clear these guys out, there's like 3 health items you can pick up, because it's like, oh, the devs were like, it's like, okay, this is gonna be a hard fight, you know, let's give, you know, people who are probably gonna struggle on the later half of the fight, let's give them some healing items to lessen the blow. Kiwami 1, there's not one anywhere. Why? Fuck you, I guess. Which is just insane. Like, why is there no healing items anywhere? Like, you know, you put healing items in like a bunch of like the long battles and like the boss fights, like Lau Ka Long, like the healing item is still there. But for this fight, where you know you're fighting a bunch of enemies with guns, mobile enemies with knives that dodge everything, not a single healing item, not a stamina X, not a stamina royale, not a Tarner, nothing. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, here is the second part. This fight is also not fun, but it's not as bad as Kiwami 1, because Kiwami 1, kind of like the Shimano boat fight, dialed it up to 11 just to make this fight hell. Number 1, in order to actually beat the fight, you just have to beat Jingu. So if you can, like my strat, I just isolated Jingu as much as I can, stacked as much damage, and try to end the fight as quickly as possible. That was my strat. But in Kiwami 1, these guys, they only have knives. They're pretty evasive, and you can't grab them. But at least, they can't fucking shoot you. So Kiwami 1, you have to worry about 3 guys pointing guns at you. And it is miserable, man. It is completely miserable. Not only that, you have to kill everyone in Kiwami 1. And not only that, the bodyguards will revive themselves. And it's just like, why? Why did you have to do all this shit? That's probably like the hardest boss in the entire Yakuza franchise. Anyway, here's Nishiki, and we got the OG music, and oh man, it is... OG music just hits different, man. Although, talking about the fight in general, I think playing casually is pretty difficult. Definitely harder than Kiwami 1, that's for sure. Granted, Kiwami 1, I think you just bust it in general, so you just kind of validate most fights. But I think the biggest threat Nishiki has here is that when he goes into heat mode, he becomes completely fucking invincible. So the only way to do damage is to like Tiger Jaw like the last part of the combo. You can do like bounding throws on him, but the thing is, it's like it feels very weird to do because you know like any like feedback you would normally get, you know, when you hit them, is just gone. But it still works. But when he's not in heat, he's actually pretty easy to deal with. He actually lets you grab him like a lot. So most of the time, you know, I just kind of wait from a distance, thing with good time usually is running attack. Like a big flying knee. That's a good attack to get in. And also, I like to stay in like this little like back corner. I'm not exactly sure what this area is supposed to be, but this area gives me a lot of space. Now I think like one other thing you can do is that like that one combo, you can parry the second hit, but I think the main thing, one other thing when he's in heat mode, is that you can't block these attacks. Oh yeah, you can also pick shit up, and look how fucking far he sent that. Holy fuck. Like I think he can pick like. You can pick up like one of those fucking huge couches. Yeah. I don't even know if you can dodge from there, of course. I don't even know that's a possibility. But overall, this fight is a good fight. And you know, it's peak Yakuza, man. The music, the setting, the theme, you know, the build up. It's just great, and the fight is like actually hard compared to like I don't know, like Kiwami 2. Kiwami 2, like Ryuji is just a joke. Nishiki and Kiwami 1, I don't think it's really his fault, but I think that would be it. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching. And I'm not sure what I would do next, but thank you.